Rachel and Sasha again, and today she and I are going to work on boundaries, or the out command. So this is useful, like if you are eating dinner or cooking in the kitchen or something like that, and you don't want Sasha around, tripping you or her getting hair flying everywhere, because I know how much lab shed. Then you can tell her out, and she will leave that area and go to an area where it's okay for her to be and where she's out of the way. Now, what is really important about this is that there is a clearly defined boundary for her, whether it's a doorway type thing or a smaller space, a change in flooring, so if it goes from like carpet to tile or something like that, where she can see the difference and see a distinction. You might have to move things a little bit depending on what is distinct around your home, where Sasha can know, kind of visualize a line of somewhere where she's not supposed to be and somewhere where she can be. So usually if she's hanging out with you like while you're cooking, she's either begging for food or she wants to be with you, be around you and see you. So when you tell her out, she should be in a place where she can still see you and be close to you, but just not as close. So what I have here is I have this little fence set up, and it's level with this back edge of the crate. So we have kind of a doorway type thing right here, and I have Sasha on a leash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her over onto that side, which is going to be my space, and tell her out, point away. Then I'll kind of lead her through on the leash, and we'll practice that a couple of times and see how she does with it. So, here's Sasha. Okay, Sasha, out. Good girl. Good girl. Out. Good girl, out. Good girl, out. So, she's behind this line right here, so that's when she gets her praise. Now, she's kind of stopping naturally, and it seems to be kind of a natural distance between her and me, and there just so happens to be the line here. And we'll work on that later, but for now, I just want to keep practicing with the leash on so I can guide her to where I want her to go, because she's not going to know it automatically without me showing her. So, we're going to get well over here. Sasha, out. Out. Good girl, out. Good girl. Okay, so she gets that this is kind of the line here because she is a farther distance from me than she normally is. If I were to wrinkle the treat bag or something like that, I bet she would come up closer. So, good girl, out. Once she's out like this, you can put her in a sit or down stay, or just as long as she knows to stay out. If she gets out, then loses interest and decides to go somewhere else in the house, that's fine. Where if you put her in a stay and then she got up and went somewhere else, that would be a problem if you hadn't released her first. But it's up to you. I'll practice a little bit of both ways. So come on. Sasha, out. Out. Good girl, sit. Stay. Good girl. Good job. Okay, so she's doing really well. She's getting where she's supposed to leave, because she's walking in front of me and going beyond me to get out here, which is really good. Good stay, Sasha. Good girl. So I have these two puzzle mats set up here, and so you can treat it kind of like a parquet thing. I want this to be the line where she's supposed to stay behind, but I also want to have this area, as kind of another distinct designated area where it's okay for her to go to. And she's doing that on her own. With the parquet, you make her go to the bed, and she's always supposed to go to that spot. For this, she doesn't have to, but it is an option, and if it's easier for her to pick out, then that might help her a little bit, which is why I have it out here. Okay, so now I'm going to try it without the leash. No, Sasha, get off of there. Off, good girl. I practice with the leash at first so that I can guide her to it and tell her what I want her to do. However, you don't want to depend on the leash too much because Sasha, off, off. Because if you're leading her into the area and telling her to get out of it after you already took her there, that can get pretty confusing. So, by taking the leash off, I'm just going to walk over there, and the idea is that she'll follow me on her own, and then I can tell her out. Sasha, no. So it's working. Sasha, out. Sasha, out. Out. Sasha, out. Out. Sasha, come on, out. So, she's being a little bit stubborn here. It looks like she wants to turn it into a game. Also, what it could be is that she wasn't listening and I was trying to get her to follow me out over there. She could have still seen this as the line and just thinking that she should have been on the opposite side of me. And so telling her out, she was staying behind this line. I'm not quite sure which one it was. So I'm going to try this again with a little bit less distance between us. Sasha. Okay. Sasha, out. Good girl, out. Good girl. Good girl, out. Good job. Sasha. Sasha. Good girl. Good job. Okay, out. 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 Good girl. Good girl. So she was still trying to get past me. Sasha definitely has her own agenda and kind of wants to go about that. But I was kind of blocking her there, and just by blocking her from going forward, she started backing up and getting out herself. Good girl. Good girl. You're trying to start a game, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Sasha. Good girl. Sasha, out. Out. Good girl. Good girl. She really gets this line. Her nose is pretty much right on the line with her body behind it. So that tells me she knows that this is the area. Good girl, out. Good job. Good job. So the leash needs to be what tempts her. Out. Sasha, out. No. Off. Out. Good girl, out. Good girl. Sit. Stay. Okay. So she's doing well. Now I have the leash with me because she gets excited when she sees it. It kind of entices her to come over on this side with me without me leading her over or asking her to come over. And it kind of keeps her attention, it keeps her from wandering around, so I have a bit more control over her to tell her to get out when I need her to. Good girl, Sasha. Good stay. Good stay. Good job. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Sasha, out. Sasha, out. Out. Good girl, out. Good out, Sasha. Good job. So with using this method, she's probably more comfortable at home, and if you pick up the leash, then she's probably going to really be heading to the front door, the garage door, whichever one you guys normally go out of, and so that might not work. It might work better to not have the leash involved at all when you're working with her at home. So when I tell her out, so like this, Sasha, like this, when I tell her out, out. Oh, good girl. Good girl, out. Good job. Okay, well, she proved me wrong there. What I was going to say is that she seems to kind of follow the leash. So when the leash is on this side and I tell her out that way, she doesn't really go for it. But then if I take the leash and go that way, then she kind of follows this. But she has picked it up and she proved me wrong right there. So she really gets it out in this setting here. So with lots of consistency at home, you can work on it with her there. Now with this, you get to choose how strict it is. when you're first teaching her, it's important that you are always tell her out whenever you find her in the kitchen or whatever area you don't want her to be in. However, you know, with my dogs at home, if they're laying in the kitchen, I don't have a problem with that until I go in and I start cooking dinner, and then I tell them out, and they know that that's my time. So it's not like this forbidden area that they can't even look at, but they know where out is in reference to the space, and they know what to do when you tell them that. So when they have to respect those boundaries. All right. Hope this helps out at home by keeping Sasha out from under your feet and keeping her hairy body away from your food. This was Rachel and Sasha, and we're working on out.